What's up? Happy Wednesday, everyone. We're halfway through to the weekend, but we've already got a lot of sports news to catch you up on. Here's what we've got for you today. Today on Cronkite Sports Now, ASU football looks to bounce back before heading to UCLA. How Arizona stadiums influence building in Las Vegas. And the Phoenix Rising gets fired up for the postseason. These stories and more coming your way on Cronkite Sports Now. Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of Cronkite Sports Now. I'm Claudia Faust. Let's dive right in. The Phoenix Suns are saying hello to the regular season with their first matchup tonight at Talking Stick Resort Arena against the Sacramento Kings. As the team kicks off its first season with a new head coach, a number of new players, and sporting new uniforms, the Suns will get to enjoy a fresh start with the franchise. Suns forward Kelly Oubre Jr. held a pop-up shop to promote and sell his Valley Boys merch on Saturday, and it was a huge success. The best part, 100%, yes, 100% of these proceeds went to UNICEF to help out his teammate and bud DeAndre Ayton on his Hurricane Dorian relief mission. And hundreds of people showed up to support the cause and the Valley Boys. And speaking of openings, here you see Suns GM James Jones and none other than the Suns Gorilla greeting Suns fans and food fans at the new Fry's grocery store downtown at today's grand opening. Tip-off for tonight's game is at 7 p.m., and then the Suns will be off to face the Denver Nuggets on Friday for their second game of the season. Coming off a tough loss against the Utes, the Sun Devils are looking to bounce back on Saturday as they are set to face the UCLA Bruins. Last year, ASU defeated UCLA in a close matchup, winning 31-28 at home. Coach Herm Edwards knows the defense is going to get tested.
UCLA runs the ball more than people can imagine. I mean, they come out and test with us 4 tight ends, all right? They do some unbalanced stuff. They do a lot of shifting in motion, what I call eye candy, to get your eyes bad. You know, they get all this eye candy and doing this. And so, hike the ball, we got a gap missing, they run the ball. And so you got to be ready for that.
Kickoff is set for Saturday, 4:30 in the afternoon. Coming off a road win against the Giants on Sunday, the Cardinals are the ones marching in for a showdown with the Saints. Drew Brees has been out a week 2 with a thumb injury, but has a chance to return this Sunday. Whoever the Cards find under center, Cliff Kingsbury knows the Saints head coach Sean Payton will have his team prepared.
He's one of the guys that I've watched probably the most throughout my coaching career. Just he does such a phenomenal job of getting people open and finding matchups and adapting to his personnel, and the consistent success he's had throughout the league is phenomenal, and so a huge fan of his.
Catch the Cards kickoff in New Orleans at 10 a.m. Sunday as they go for a 4th win in a row. Well, we've chatted about college football and the NFL, so here's another one for you, the XFL. The AAF and the Arizona Hotshots may be no longer, but 18 former Hotshots found a home in the XFL. Some notable players with Arizona ties are former ASU Sun Devils Will Sutton and Rashad Ross, as well as former U of A Wildcat Scooby Wright. Here's a look at the XFL schedule that was released yesterday. We know it's a lot to look at, but just so you know, if you're interested in watching some of these former Sun Devils, Wildcats, or Hotshots, you can catch these games on ESPN and ABC starting on Saturday, February 8th. And if you're one to bet on football games, your Vegas odds won't end with the Super Bowl. The XFL is set to run through the end of April. And speaking of Vegas, after passing a 2-year mark since the start of construction on Allegiant Stadium in September, Cronkite News reporter Mackenzie Pavicic went to Las Vegas to get an idea of how the city has looked to Phoenix during construction.
There seems to be an elite sport fever here in Las Vegas with the relocation of the Oakland Raiders bringing a second professional team to Sin City. Construction on Allegiant Stadium, which will be home to the soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders and the UNLV football team, is both on time and on budget. And with construction cruising along, I met with a member of the Las Vegas Stadium Authority Board who told me that during both the design and construction phases of this project, pages were taken out of stadium playbooks from across the country to ensure smooth sailing, including a few from Phoenix.
There are some elements of the stadium, including how the field is treated, for example, that is very similar to Phoenix in terms of what Las Vegas is doing. No doubt that was a lesson learned. Both the things that worked and the things that didn't. I can tell you when we were looking at at what is going to be the cost to maintain this stadium. We were absolutely looking at what had happened in Phoenix. And that's not only because of the stadiums that exist there, which I will tell you I think are very impressive, but it's also because the climate is very similar, right? Our communities, obviously Phoenix is somewhat bigger than Las Vegas, but our communities are very similar in a great number of ways in terms of things like how you grow grass, how people move in cities that are a little bit newer, right? We don't have quite the type of transit that maybe places like New York or San Francisco have. And so there are all kinds of lessons that we've learned by looking at how places like Phoenix have managed not only the construction of the stadium, but also how they operate it.
Aguero says that while there are many reasons that Las Vegas is an attractive location to host sporting events, the main one is pretty obvious. The city is known for its hospitality. So much so, the Pac-12 is already looking toward the future once construction is complete here. The 2020 and 2021 Pac-12 championship football games are both slated to be held right here at Allegiant Stadium. In Las Vegas, I'm Mackenzie Pavicic, Cronkite News.
As construction continues, we'll have more on how the story of these new stadiums may affect the future of Phoenix and hosting things like conference championships and the Super Bowl right here on Cronkite Sports Now. Cooling down on the ice, well, that's the last thing the Arizona Coyotes are doing. The 5-2-1 Coyotes extended their win streak yet again last night after taking down the Rangers in overtime at Madison Square Garden. After a dominating first period, but a slower second and third, 23-year-old Christian Dvorak scored the game winner in overtime.
I told you guys, the third-year guys, they're a big part of our team, and they have to come in these moments and produce, and they do.
I think just holding each other accountable. I think we're playing as a team, all 20 guys, and we're just sticking with it, not getting frustrated, and hopefully we keep going here.
The Coyotes continue on their tour of the tri-state area's hockey arenas with matchups against the Islanders tomorrow and games against the Devils and Sabres through the weekend. Well, we've been talking about the Phoenix Rising record-breaking season a lot, and now it's finally time for the playoffs. Our reporter Brady Klein is at Casino Arizona Field with a look back on the season and a look forward to the postseason.
This season has been an instrumental one for Phoenix Rising FC, a 20-game win streak. Every single home game has been a sellout, and they have the league's leader in goals and assists in Solomon Asante. Now the team's going to start their playoff push this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. at Casino Arizona Field as they look to go for the championship in addition to the Supporter Shield that they clinched for the regular season title. Now fans wanting to get an up-close and personal look at the players, you can come out to Casino Arizona Field at 5:30 for their new playoff tradition, the Red Carpet Walk, when the players are arriving to the stadium. In Scottsdale, Brady Klein, Cronkite News.
Thanks, Brady. If you want to be a part of the Rising's playoff push, there's still time to get on the bandwagon as they head into the postseason. The Rising supporter groups are holding a practice session this Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. at Casino Arizona Field if you want to learn how to chant like their #1 fans. That does it for today's edition of Cronkite Sports Now. For Arizona top sports stories from around the valley, visit Cronkite Sports tab on arizonasports.com. And as always, for top Arizona news stories, head over to our website at cronkitenews.azpbs.org. And be sure to tune in tonight at 5 p.m. on Arizona PBS for our nightly newscast. On behalf of the entire Cronkite Sports Now crew, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you have an awesome Wednesday, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place.